Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Garnett-Tools. So SK isn't the only one updating their lineup. This is the Proto J5450 HTC Precision 90-tooth ratchet, over 17.5 inches of American glory. For those of you who don't know, Proto is the industrial hand tool division of Stanley Black and Decker, sister company to Mac Tools, Falcom, DeWalt, yeah, too long the list. In fact, about 2 years ago, Mac Tools released a similar ratchet with their Axis lineup, and while the two are largely the same, there are some differences in both design and availability. So let's dive in and see what the Proto version is all about. Released about 10 months ago, this is specifically the 18-inch long, half-inch drive model. It comes in at about 17.8 inches long, has a 90-tooth gear, and a low-profile selector switch. But man, is this one serious piece of hardware. The handle of this beauty has a pretty out-of-the-ordinary profile with its fairly large hand grip section featuring some very subtle transitions. Unlike the new SK ratchet, Proto found a way to incorporate knurling, which is something they are actually known for in two distinct areas. It also features an American flag, USA, and the product number engraved right into the shaft. I appreciate the fact that they didn't take a cookie cutter approach and simply regurgitate designs from other companies when designing this handle. But let me tell you, the knurling on this thing is like perfect. When I first had a look at this, I didn't think it would have that much of an effect, but damn does it have a nice feel. It fills out your hand quite well and seems to have some good traction, which should do nicely in oily or greasy environments. By contrast, the Mac version has a completely different profile with a more contoured shape and no knurl, so I'd venture to say the Proto is the clear winner here. Moving on to the head, this thing is quite the looker as it features a subtle but appealing bevel flowing along the entire perimeter of the head. The surface here simplistically bears only the Proto name engraved directly into it. The head is quite large both in thickness and width, but I don't see there being any issues with accessibility as it's pretty much in line with similar half-inch drive ratchets. Also up here is the low profile selector, which again features USA along with the flag and the direction indicators. It has a pretty smooth operation, but I'm a bit thrown off by the absence of a real positive click. One gripe I do have is, just as SK did with their low profile selector, this selector too rides on the body of the ratchet. So over time it may develop a substantial eyesore in that location. But since this is like the only video of this thing, just as I did with the SK ratchet, we're going to open her up because we just gotta see what's inside. After we get past the torque screws they have attached the plate with, we're in there like swimwear. This is what I would call a fully sealed ratchet, as it has this gasket to prevent the ingress of materials. It has this gasket here on the anvil, and it also has one on the back side of the selector switch, meaning no contaminants can really get into this ratchet unless one of these seals fail. So there's that. Here you can see the 90-tooth gear. There's a lot of teeth on that thing. And there's also a nub on the back of this gear which sits in this recess in the body of the ratchet, making this like a hub for the anvil. It works like pretty much like an axle. Here you can see the paw. It's pretty you can see it's starting to shed its black phosphate finish on the teeth, but that's likely to happen with any of these. But you can see there's a lot of teeth on that thing too. Counting this comes out to be 17 teeth engaged at all times, and that's like the highest I've seen on a single paw mechanism. It's pretty high. On the back of this thing you have two spots. As you can see here, it comes to like a V, and I believe these provide flats for the spring and pin to push on in the correct direction. Then you have this pin on this side which is responsible for choosing your direction when you move your your selector here. Here you can see that final gasket on the back side, right there. I don't know how well you can make that out, but that is a gasket right there. On the bottom of this thing, there's a couple detent spots. See them there? Detent, detent. And that's because there's actually a ball detent in the bottom of the housing of the ratchet. If you can see it right there. So that actually is the positive stop. That's where the selector switch will stop. Then you have your pin and spring, which push up on the pawl here. So assembled, this thing is kind of like this. And as you can see, that spring is doing all the ratcheting. So this is what's controlling how much tension you have on that geared anvil, because then this pawl meshes with that anvil. And when you change directions, this actually moves like this, and you're pushing on the other side of the pawl there, which is why it looks like they have those flats, if you can make it out there. As for the rest, it has a pretty nice chrome job, but looks to be a little on the thick side. Sockets push onto the ratchet easily, but the retention seems to be quite light for a 1/2-inch drive. Now, Proto offers these in 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2-inch drive models, mainly chrome variants, but they also offer the tool in flex head and black oxide versions. It should be noted that if you're at all a fan of comfort grip, you may want to look at the Mac-Tools models or elsewhere, as Proto doesn't offer that feature at all. All in all, I'd say this is a pretty nice ratchet. This is actually owned by a friend, not me, but it certainly has some features that makes me wish it were mine. The leverage of the long handle helps out quite a bit, and I can't get over how nice the knurling is. I like how well the handle fills out your hand, the robust knurling, and the 4-degree swing arc. I don't like the mushy feel of the selector and how loosely the detent locks the sockets. I mean, it's not all that loose, it's just not as tight as I'd expect it to be. But that's it, that's all I have for you. The Proto J5450 HTC comes in at about $155, comes with Proto's lifetime warranty, and is completely made in America. I'll be sure to leave links to information about Proto, their warranty statement, and where you can find and purchase these in the description. They're available from ToolSource, MSC, Grainger, and Zero, but the lowest prices I've been able to find is from ToolSource. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more videos. You can support this channel by using my KC Toolco affiliate link in the description. You can also check out my Twitter and Instagram if you're interested. And thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. If you're still here, consider checking out my other reviews of quality hand tools.